welcome to Total Packers with Matt LaFleur, Larry McCarren, along with the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. And Matt, let's cut right to the chase. What can you tell us about your quarterback situation?
Well, certainly Aaron's battling through a lot right now. As we do with most guys, we'll give him the week to see how he progresses, and if he's healthy enough to go, then he'll be in there under center against the Bears.
How did you like what young Jordan Love did against the Eagles?
Yeah, I thought Jordan did a great job coming in. You could tell the moment was not too big for him. And I thought he went out there and just did exactly what we asked him to do. And he played with confidence. He had great command of the huddle. And he went out there and executed, I thought, at a pretty high level.
You talk about being ready when your number is called. He was a perfect example.
Yeah, and I think that is indicative of how he performs every day in practice. He does a great job on the scout team versus our defense, giving them very good looks. And then when given the opportunity to go in with our starters, he does a great job. So not surprised by his performance, but happy for how he did perform.
Matt, you guys actually averaged more per play, 7 yards, than the Eagles did, 6.3. Did you like a lot of what you did offensively?
Yeah, I thought there were some good things. Obviously, we had some opportunities. We had the 2 turnovers, and then there was an opportunity when the game was tied at 20-20 right before the end of the half where we could have taken the lead and unfortunately got sacked on a play and wasn't able to convert on the 3rd down. And then, punted the ball back to Philly, and Philly was able to score at the end of the half. That I thought was a critical moment in the game.
Was it just me, or was A.J. Dillon playing with some extra juice, for lack of a better phrase?
Yeah, he did a great job. I thought up front we did a pretty solid job of creating some holes, but I just loved the demeanor which he ran. He was breaking tackles. He was sticking his foot in the ground, being decisive. We always tell these backs to read it one gap at a time, and he was really hitting it downhill and finishing his runs. And I thought he did a great job just running behind his pads.
In the first half, you stop them on 4th and inches. 5 plays later, you're in the end zone. Quay Walker recovers a fumble, has a long run back. 3 plays later, you're in the end zone. When you talk about complementary football, are those the types of things you're talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, whether it's the offense setting up the defense or vice versa, you've got to turn those turnovers or takeaways into points, and our offense was able to come through in those moments.
Matt, the Eagles with a ridiculous 363 yards rushing. When you looked at the tape, what'd you see?
Way too many missed tackles. We counted 22 missed tackles, and it's going to be hard to stop anybody if you have that many missed tackles. And certainly there were some situational ball, some 3rd and long situations that don't necessarily have anything to do with the run game, but we can't allow them to convert in those situations to extend drives and give them more opportunities at running the football.
Not to be old-fashioned, but I'm old. How much of it is getting blocked and staying blocked? Is that part of the equation?
You're not that old, Larry. No, I think that is a big part of it. We talk about defeating blocks, especially when you're in those one-on-one situations, and that's what football comes down to, is blocking and tackling and being able to defeat those blocks and getting to the football. And we need multiple hats at the football, especially if you're in a situation when you're missing so many tackles.
Rudy Ford starts in place of Darnell Savage. How did Rudy hold up at safety?
Yeah, I thought he did a great job. He was the one that forced that fumble that Quay was able to return, and I just love the physicality and speed that Rudy brings to our defense. He flies all over the field. Certainly we felt him throughout the course of the season on special teams, but he's been showing up on defense as well.
Matt, 6 minutes into the game, you're down 13-0 on the road, and it seemed like most of the night you're crawling out of a hole. How did you like your team's resolve and grit in that regard?
I loved it. I think that's, you find out a lot about yourself in moments of adversity, and our guys kept battling, and we battled all the way to the end. Unfortunately, just didn't make enough plays, really in all 3 phases, to overcome a really good football team in their home environment.
Of course, this week you have the Chicago Bears, and it seems like they figured out what they have in Justin Fields, and it's changed them offensively.
It sure has. They've definitely developed an identity on offense. That's a credit to Luke Getsy and that staff there. Justin's doing a great job, obviously, running the ball at a really high level. It's going to be a great challenge for us, but it's not just him. They've got multiple backs, and right now they're doing a really, really good job on offense.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up, Packer guard Jon Runyan. Don't go away. Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers, by Bellin Health, and by Johnsonville. Welcome back. This one-on-one is brought to you by Quick Trip and Guaranteed Fuel. John, playing in Philadelphia, where you grew up, where your father, John Sr., was a Pro Bowl player, does playing in Philly, with all that considered, was that a big deal?
Yeah, it was. It was amazing, especially around this time of year, Thanksgiving, just really about family and coming home to Philadelphia. And the game was on my dad's birthday as well, and just a lot of memories flooding back. I remember going to 7, 8 home games a year, sitting up watching my dad and being in the locker room watching his teammates, and they had the Eagles Hall of Fame induction and a bunch of his teammates were back and I got to see them, and they all remember me from when I was a little kid running around the locker room. So it really was a great atmosphere, and I love coming back to Philadelphia.
Speaking of your dad, who is now the Vice President of Policy and Rules Administration for the NFL, and who earlier this season sent you an official letter saying you are fined. Did you ever decide what to do with that letter, and how did that all turn out?
I haven't decided what I was going to do with the letter yet, but I do still have it. It's in my nightstand drawer. Probably going to give it to my mom, let her decide what she wants to do with it. It was funny, and hopefully I don't get another one. I don't need that. I don't need it.
Against Philadelphia, A.J. Dillon's 20-yard touchdown run, you had a nice block on it. And afterwards, you seemed exceptionally excited. You were celebrating a lot. You went down by the end zone and stuff like that. What was the special meaning, or was there a special meaning for that play?
First of all, it was a great run. A.J. really found, he pressed his aiming point and cut it back. And I think that's one of the best runs we've had all year, and that felt really good. And then, just in the moment, we really needed it as an offense. We were down 13 points at that point in the first quarter. Already, I think, 2 turnovers, and it was tough. And getting that first touchdown, being down there in the end zone, I know the Eagles fans didn't seem to care too much about it, and I was just eating it up, and it gave me more energy.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
John, the whole run-pass option thing, you guys do a lot of it. Now, a lot of times it's going to be a pass, but you're not aware of that, so you're just doing your run block, right?
Yeah, that's the thing playing O-line. You never really know what's going on. You can't see what Aaron sees when he's looking at the linebackers and the defensive backs. And you know that it's run when you feel the defenders laying into you, and you can tell it's pass when you see them look away from you and you feel them light up a little bit. There's also a fine line between when you're kind of uncovered at guard and not going downfield for an eligible receiver downfield. So it is a little hairy.
John, in the Washington game, you made the move from starting left guard to starting right guard. Has it been a big adjustment?
I think it was. The first 2 games, I think recently, these last few games, I feel like I've just kind of always been on the right side. But those first 2 games, trying to make the switch over there, especially when I really haven't in my entire career really played on the right side. And feel a lot more comfortable now. It's a lot different. I'd say it's kind of like somebody that likes eating steak. They switch, what side they put the knife and the fork, and that's kind of how it feels. Going to the other side when you're so used to playing the other side.
The whole Packer Bear thing, are you really into it personally, or is that more for the fans? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I really got into it my rookie year. I remember It was about November in the season. I think we had a Sunday nighter in 2020 against the Bears, and I went in around the second quarter, played the rest of the game, and I really got a sense for the rivalry and how fun it is. And I think we beat them by a fair amount. I think it was around 17, 20-something points, and on the QB kneel, I get knocked over, and I just knew right then and there that I just never gonna really like the Bears. It's a fun rivalry, and I always look forward to playing them. It was so fun playing against them Sunday night, week 2, and I can't wait to go out there and play them in Chicago.
Welcome back. This week's Chalk Talk is brought to you by Network Health. At Network Health, we do what's right, even when it's not easy. It's who we are. Health insurance is what we do. Kickoff returns are like any other offensive play. Everybody's got a job to do, and if everybody does it, results are good. It's all in the execution. For example, on this return, the Packers have Dallin Levitt and Isaiah McDuffie double teaming, creating a soft spot in the coverage. Now, to take advantage of that soft spot, they have to build a wall here and here to create a running lane for Keyshawn Nixon. Now watch this area over here. Kingsley Enagbare, Tyler Davis, Jonathan Garvin, Josiah DeGuara, and Eric Wilson are splashing Eagles all over the place. Look at 3 Eagles on the ground. That is a wall. The other part of the wall is down here with Corey Ballantyne and Patrick Taylor. Keyshawn Nixon reads it perfectly. It's one-on-one with the kicker, and that's going to be no contest. And Keyshawn is biting and scratching for every inch, and the Packers set up offensive shop on the 41. This may come as a surprise, but I've always thought a good back can do more for a line than a line can do for him, and the same goes for return specialists. It just takes a special breed of cat, and Keyshawn Nixon is a special breed. He is fearless, and he's got a feel for it. Watch this return. He starts by going to his left, and that sucks all the coverage in that direction, and it sets up his blockers. Look at that wall. Now Keyshawn comes back to his right, and he wants to pick up this double team here between Wilson and Innis Gaines. But before he does that, he has to make one miss. No problem. Then he's got the kicker in the open field. No problem. And they finally bring him down from behind. Both of the returns we looked at led to scores. Field flippers, game changers. That's the kickoff return team, and it's a collective effort.
I love the guys on kickoff return. They put me in position to win. I'm not scared to hit it. I'm going to hit it for them. They give me a good block. I'm going to reward them with a good return.
Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Network Health, by your Wisconsin Toyota dealers, and by Spectrum One.
Hey, what's up? This is Aaron Jones, Green Bay Packers running back. And I'd love to give a shout out to all the active and former military service men and women. You guys are true heroes. The reason that we're able to do what we do on a daily basis. You guys make so many sacrifices. I know firsthand what it's like. My parents were military, both of them, and I grew up in a military household. And the military has kind of raised me and set me to where I am today. So thank you for your service. We love you, and we're celebrating you all throughout this month, throughout the NFL. Go Pack, go.
Aaron Jones is always exceptional off the field. Now it's time to reward his work on it. The Pro Bowl Games vote is live until December 15th. Visit Packers.com/Pro Bowl and cast a ballot with all of your favorite Packers. You can also submit your vote on Twitter starting Thursday. Just tweet the player's name or handle along with the hashtag Pro Bowl Vote. Welcome back to Total Packers with Matt LaFleur. And Matt, if we could, let's talk about some individual performances and begin with Christian Watson. 4 catches, 110 yards, and he certainly fills the bill when you talk about a need for speed.
Yeah, he did a great job, and not only on the touchdown reception, but also earlier in the game on a critical 4th down, making a tough catch over the middle. And what I loved about it most is he took a hard shot from Gardner Johnson and he popped right up. And we always talk about the pop-up game that you have to display as a wide receiver or anybody that's carrying the ball, and he exemplified that in that situation.
He had to know he was going to get lit up big time, and he focused on the ball, caught it, and hung on to it.
Yeah, and that's life in this league. There's going to be some tight window throws, especially in those critical moments, and he came through, and Aaron trusted him and let it rip and made a great play.
Let me think. Last week, at some point, you pick up Justin Hollins on waivers from the Rams. And then against the Eagles Sunday night, I'm seeing him out there sacking the quarterback. That's a great adjustment on his part, getting into the system and getting involved right away.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He took a red eye, got here on Thanksgiving. Jason Rebrovich did a great job with him, spent some extra time with him, and that's tough to do, to get somebody up to speed that quickly and for them to go in there and contribute. That's a credit to Rebs and to Justin for being in the situation and knowing what to do.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up, the last word from the coach. Stay with us. Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Fabic Cat, proud sponsor of the Green Bay Packers.
Takes the snap, flip to Jones off the right side, makes the turn to the 10 to the 5, end zone, touchdown! Under pressure, scrambles right, he throws deep down the right side, intercepted! And there is your dagger!
Go, Bear, go! Go, Bear, go!
The Packers took it to the Bears in Week 2, the most recent installment of the NFL's oldest rivalry. This Sunday's contest will be meeting number 206. Matt LaFleur remains undefeated against Chicago, winning all 7 matchups. As a bonus, this weekend's victor becomes the NFL's all-time winningest team with 787 victories. The Last Word with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Construction Business Group and Wisconsin Operating Engineers. Welcome back. Time for the last word from the coach. And Matt, the Bears are not the same team you played in Week 2. They traded away Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn, brought in Chase Claypool from the Steelers. Just a different outfit.
Yeah, totally. But the one thing that you can see that's consistent from when we played them earlier is this team plays with extreme effort and physicality. So our guys are going to have to get their mind right. You know, anytime you play the Chicago Bears, that it's going to be an old-fashioned North physical battle, and that's what we got to get prepared for.
Thank you, Matt. Good luck against the Bears, and thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.